What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets Radio. We broadcast live every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We're year-round. We talk draft. We talk free agency. We get player interviews. We do all kinds of stuff. These shows right now are kind of getting a little bit stagnant because, to do a mock draft right now before free agency is stupid. I'll never understand them, but for some people, that's what they're into. A lot of free agency topics like Robbie Anderson and George Akins are kind of getting played out because the season was so bad. We had to talk about a lot of these things. But we try to keep it fresh. The show is live. We get callers, so we'll probably have some players on the next couple of weeks too. So stay tuned in. This video is about Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, there's a couple caveats to this video. I understand he's 22, 23 years old. He's very young. And it's unfair to evaluate him during this season, which was a complete just roller coaster ride. But he's not untouchable in terms of criticism, and there are expectations going into year 3. So you look into his second year, and everybody all of a sudden wants to compare him to Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield. And I really don't understand why they do that because they're all different quarterbacks. Everybody is unique. If you want to say, hey, Sam Darnold's the next Philip Rivers or whoever you want to compare him to, I kind of maybe want to understand it. But to compare, I really don't care. Like, I compare Sam from this year to last year. And I look at what he needs to do to get better going forward. So you look at this year, and things could not have gone any worse for him starting in training camp. The starting offensive line did not get together the final unit till the first game of the season. They weren't even together in the preseason. Then you change the center on him. So he's used to Jonathan Harrison. You bring in Ryan Khalil, who obviously wasn't ready. So now you have an offensive line that hasn't played together and a brand new center. Talk about not ideal. Then you have a whole new system, all new play calls. Then you have new role players around you. Le'Veon Bell, Ty Montgomery, Jamison Crowder. All these moving parts, all these moving pieces. Then you add in Mono. Boom. Your first quarter of the season, right out the window. Your first 6 games of the season, right out the window. It's a bona fide mess for Sam Darnold on an individual perspective. Nothing ideal about it. Then he comes back. He wins, he beats the Cowboys. But now the injuries start coming in. Now the offensive line start coming in. Offensive line problems start occurring. And it just becomes a mess. And your evaluation process becomes muddy because you don't really know what's real, what's not, what's play calling, what's the roster, what's the personnel, what's the line, where do you place blame at all the problems? So with that being said, you say, okay, what are your expectations in year 2? You wanted to see him take a huge leap. He didn't do that for a litany of reasons, which we just talked about. But then what did we see him grow in certain areas? Did he improve certain areas? Listen, he makes some money throws where you're like, wow, this guy is a legit franchise quarterback. Then he'll drop his head, throw the ball in the air, and get intercepted. And you're like, dude, that's Mark Sanchez. So we saw the good Sam Darnold and the bad Sam Darnold all within the same game several times this year. So in terms of his footwork, you want to see that improve. In terms of his the way he handles himself in the pocket, not getting flat-footed, not throwing off his back foot, falling backwards. You want to see him, feel the rush, feel the pressure, identify blitzes, get out of the pocket more. Had just a better feel for the game, better feel for the defenses in front of him. Now, I understand a lot of this can fall on play calling, and this can be adjusted in the offseason because now, in this offseason, Adam Gase does not have to teach Sam the offense. They know it now. Now they know what's good, what's bad, what doesn't work, what works, and now you can start building on it and developing new plays or expanding what Sam feels very, very comfortable with. So we assume that's going to happen. But from Sam, he's got to really work on handling pressure, handling blitzes, and people are going to say, well, that's the offensive line's fault. Listen, every offensive line in the NFL is going to have bad days, and you're going to get hit. And you can't be a quarterback that's known that gets skittish under pressure. Now, Eli Manning just recently retired. Eli Manning took a beating year in, year out, but he always found ways to make big throws. He got hit, he got back up, he didn't back down from the pressure. So now I'm not saying that's who you want Sam Darnold to be. It's just a point of saying, listen, you're going to get hit. No matter if you bring in 5 Pro Bowlers in front of you, you're going to take some big hits. There's going to be days where defenses are going to just stack the line and say, beat us with your arm, and Sam has to feel comfortable doing that. Now, the Jets played some defenses this year, the Steelers, the Bills, other times like that where he looked a little rough. The one night against the Patriots, he saw ghosts. It's not ideal, but he's a young quarterback, and he's got to find a way to just overcome some of these things. The play calling may not always be perfect, but guess what? Not every coordinator, no matter who you are, is perfect. There are times where Eric Bieniemy has bad days. There's times where Sean Payton has bad days. You got to overcome a lot of things. And as a young quarterback, these are things he has to figure out. So you have footwork, better feel in the pocket, better decision making. And this is in terms of game management. You need to understand when the game is on the line, when not to take a sack, when to throw the ball away, understanding how much time is left on the play clock. Don't take a delay of game. These are all things as a quarterback goes into his third year, fourth year, you want to see these problems go away. And that's just a fact. I mean, a delay of game in the fourth quarter is not ideal. Not knowing when to go out of bounds, not knowing when to throw the ball away, not knowing when just to throw the ball up in the air as a Hail Mary and it's only second down. Like, this is situational awareness. Now, yes, some of this does fall on Adam Gase and the offensive coordinator, but as a more experienced quarterback, you can't always rely on everybody else. You got to do things on your own and understand what the hell is going on. When veteran quarterbacks get later on in their careers, they could do a lot of things on their own. They have a feel for the game. They know the play clock is down to 6 to quick snap the ball. They know when a blitz is, all-out blitz is coming and it's a vital play. Throw the ball away and live for another day. And that's a huge thing for Sam Darnold. In terms of spreading the ball around and finding the hot routes and using safety valves, there are times when Sam will just stare at his number one guy and force the ball in there. Now, if you have a elite number one receiver, you can get away with that stuff. If you have a Michael Thomas or a Julio Jones or a Devontae Adams, you have those guys, you get away with some of those things. If you don't have a guy like that, you got to have a better feel for your receivers, what they can and cannot do, and when you can get the ball in there. Now, sometimes you want to see your quarterback make players around him better. You lead your receivers into space. You throw very catchable balls. He's got to get a better feel for that. And that's also not easy when these guys are all out. Quincy Linwood goes out. Crowder's banged up. Then you start bringing in guys off the street to play. Demaryius Thomas comes in late. So a lot of these things aren't easy, but these are things you have to see happen. So understanding your routes, understanding your player, understanding your personnel, looking off defenses, looking off safeties. And then it's just, if he has the ability to audible, which I'm not really sure if Adam Gase gives him that flexibility, is to recognize things and make the audible happen. And again, no delay games. Having a command of the offense, having a command of the huddle. So, all in all, going into year 3, my expectations for Sam Darnold are huge. Because year 2 of this offense, I think it's safe to assume the offensive line will be better. And the playmakers around him should be better and faster and more explosive. And he's got to just maximize talent around him. If you see Le'Veon Bell out of backfield, hit him with the pass in stride, let him run. Don't just stand in the pocket looking for that big play all the time. Get rid of the football, especially if you're under a lot of blitz. 3-step drop, get rid of the ball. Just make better passes, have a better grasp, spread the ball around. So for me, it's a lot. There's a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold this year. There's obviously a lot of pressure on Adam Gase because nobody's going to have excuses. Improved offensive line, second year of the offense, improved playmakers. I'm assuming even if Bell is traded, they should have explosive running backs and better receivers and make things happen. This is year 3. Things have got to start clicking in because the last thing you want is going into year 4 with the same questions, the same concerns. Understanding he's only young, 22, 23 years old, that's fine, but your clock is ticking to that big contract where it's going to be here and you don't want to make any mistakes. Me personally, I assume he's a franchise quarterback. He's all the time in the world, intelligent, handles the media fine. He handles himself perfectly for this team. And now it's like, okay, now you've done that. You've mastered this. You're making progress. We need the big step now. We need to go from 6-win, 7-win Sam to 10-win Sam to make this team and offense better. Sometimes a good quarterback can overcome bad coaching. A good quarterback can overcome a bad play call. A good quarterback can overcome some bad players around him. You find ways to win, and you're the missing ingredient. So that, for me, I want to see out of Sam Darnold, and I expect it. I don't really want to hear excuses from anybody. I don't want to hear from ownership. I don't want to hear from the coach. I don't want to hear from Sam, the players around him. This year was unfortunate, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And next year, you don't want to see that. You want to see him come into camp healthy, leave camp with offensive line that's in one piece, and playmakers around him, and then we get to it. So that's my little rant on Sam Darnold. Big expectations heading into this season. We want to see a lot of individual, progress, footwork, technique, offense, play calling, arm strength, accuracy, game management. And that's it. Talk to you guys later.